Hey guys, LegalLockPicker here. Today we are going to go over we're going to go over 3D printing and why everybody here knows that 3D printing has gone in a huge way in 10 years. I mean, just leaps and bounds, just enormous steps. And this is going to be one of a two-part series just to show you some of the things that I've gotten recently and some ideas I've had of things that I would like in the future. So let's jump right in. So I'm not going to tell you which person did which thing. I mean, the three people that I got these from are extremely talented people. Moving Picker, Tony W, and another Tony. I didn't get permission to give his contact info. However, if he does see this, Tony, if you see this, mate, and you want, I'll gladly put your contact info in the description below. And the other two guys are going to have their contact info. And they do make this stuff on request. I mean, they can, they're really good at it too. They're great at designing. They're great at making. You guys have seen these things before, the handles. I've showed these before and how freaking awesome they are. Right now this one is donned with a Mad Bob's 0.6 hook, just to show you a little something, but we're going to get into all that kind of stuff on the part 2 of the series. So first up we have this. It's a pinning tray. I mean, I don't know what else, you know, it's a pinning tray, you can see that, and it's not like a traditional pinning tray. You can see in different ones. For instance, this one right here, this one I got here on eBay. It was 30 bucks. This one obviously was a lot cheaper, but you can see how you can put your finger up and down on here and here and here, and you can see this has been milled down or cut down a little bit. This is a lot different, you see, but the good thing about these are you can like drop the pins in them, and you know, you could shake it, move it around, it's not going to fall out, so that's pretty cool. You know, you've got your cylinder holders and your different things. You can put the disc locks, the disc detainer lock stuff in here too, so it's actually got a wide range of different uses, you know, and it doesn't have to be lock picking specifically. But another cool thing, right, I expected when I first started getting these things, when I first started making requests for these, I expected them to be garbage. And I mean that in not a literal sense, but like, that's great, I've got it, but now I can't do anything with it, because what the hell am I going to do with it? It's, you know, flimsy, it's going to break. Obviously, that's not the case. I haven't had any of these items break on me. They're just really cool. And so that's, you know, that's part of it. It's just really cool to see these things. And so you can see that's just one of the pinning trays. You can also get your logos in them, which is pretty cool as well. This right here is I got this and this one here for demonstration purposes. Well, not this one so much, but this one really. You can see that you can put the shackle at the top here. You know, you can have your ball bearings in here as well. You can replace the core, and you can all do that like a cutaway lock, except you can see everything going on in here. I haven't been able to get the lock itself to do that, but I am looking for it. But this, for an example, is just a regular core, right? I mean, I think you're getting the idea here. You know, to be able to show people, because I find that when you're doing demonstrations where people can actually see the pins moving around and the functionality of the lock itself, you actually learn more than just saying, okay, here's what we're going to do. I am going to pick this, and yeah, one feel you can, you know, I got 3 there, is a little tight, but that doesn't do anything for people who are just starting, or even people who are advanced. You know, you want to see what's going on, and that's the idea here, is to give people a better idea of what's happening. So that's why I think this is going to be a really cool, once I can find the 6570 series with the, I don't know, probably 2.5, 2.25 inch shackle, something like that. And this one right here is actually pretty cool. Everybody knows how difficult it is to hold locks like this, right? And what's even worse is holding something like this, because it's just it's a pain, right? So where this is just an example. This is a dimple course, so I've got it in here, and you know, I'm trying to pick it and hold it. It just gets to be a pain. So this right here, what you do is it slides, you know, right in, and there's, you know, two sides to it in case you want to tighten down. The other one it fits in here a lot better. There's a different core for it, but this is just an example I'm trying to show. So you can actually, you know, hold it in here. The part here doesn't actually move. So when you're, well, excuse me, when you're doing the actual picking, it doesn't move. And, you know, you can spend more time doing it, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like this one here. I've actually showed this one before. This is the quickset holding one, and it's in there. It does not move. So I can here and pick for a very long time, and it's not going to be a problem at all, because it's a really cool training tool. So I think you're getting an idea of where we're going with all this. The next part here, now this is pretty cool. I wanted to get a demonstration lock. I wanted to be able to demonstrate how you pick locks in like the fundamentals of picking. How can we get it down to, you know, brass tacks, just really as simple as possible. Now this one here is 100% 3D printed material. The spring here, the top pin, bottom pin, everything. This whole thing is 3D printed. I just had to snap it together and use a little glue. You can see here that I can't turn, so let's pretend that we have a locking mechanism here. It's not going to turn, right? So, for example, if I can get this key out, there we go. For example, this is what we're looking at. Okay, so we can't actually turn anything because we don't have the right key in, right? So when we're putting in our lock picks, we're pushing this up here, right? This is going to be bottom pin, and this is going to be the top pin, right? So I can push this all I want, and nothing is going to open unless we have our tension tool, right? So we've got our tension tool in here, and now we've got tension. So we are going to push the pin up and down until we get the right amount of tension here, and then once we get it perfect, we've clicked it open. Now if you multiply that by 3, 4, and 5 more chambers, you've got yourself a lock. So that's awesome. I think that's just cool. And you know, the interesting thing about this is you can, for demonstration purposes obviously, but you can actually change them. Like you can put different pins inside. You can put a T pin, you can put serrated pins, you can put spool pins. It's just really cool. The possibilities are endless. And now the creme de la creme. This right here is a larger version. It's a heftier version here. I'm actually going to be getting a bigger copy of this for my training series that I'm doing. And this is just like, I wish I knew that this was out there when I first started, because this really explains to you tension, how much stress you put on the pins, and just how it works, how the lock functions, right? So let's assume that we've only got one pin, and this is it. Same thing. I have my tension here, right? So if I push too much tension to the right, it's going to lock up. If I put not enough tension, it's going to slip right past it, and nothing's going to happen. With just the right amount of tension and the right amount of pressure on the pick, there we go. Now we've got a core that's turned, and we've got an open lock. So there we go. Whoops, there it was. Anyway, that actually had a metal spring in it. So I hope you guys check out the second part of this. I'm going to have that out shortly. So if you guys want to get these yourself, or if you find something that you like, I'll leave some contact information in the description below. If you have any ideas for any future videos you'd like to suggest, maybe a lock picking tool or something you'd like for me to personally review, just contact me. And if you want to see more of my videos and my upcoming videos, like and subscribe so I know that you like the content that you see here. Check me out on Instagram at LegalLockPicker for daily updates. Guys, have a great day.